Hello, Mrs. Handler students. This is Mrs. Martin, your librarian. I am going to meet all of you this week, but before you come in, I wanted to tell you some basics about our Oak Ridge Library. This is something I do with all freshman students, but this year I'm going to do it digitally so that we have more time for the interactive activities that I want to do with you when you come visit. So again, my name is Mrs. Martin. I am the teacher librarian at Oak Ridge, and I do a variety of things, which I'll get to in a moment. But this is the start of my 8th year here at Oak Ridge. Mrs. White is our library media specialist, and you'll often see her at the circulation desk. You may have already met her during textbook checkouts. She also checks out the majority of the library books, so you'll find her at the front. So as your teacher librarian, I do a variety of things. Of course, I am involved in encouraging reading. I do book talks to share new books that our library has purchased. And I also visit classes and talk about how our book collection can help support your research for different projects. Besides books, I share about databases and how those can be useful as you progress in your research in high school. So our library basics. These pictures are from the last school year. So right now we are limiting the amount of people that can visit the library at a time, but hopefully, either this school year or the next, you will see it just as busy as in these pictures. We're normally open before and after school, including all breaks. We have different hours this year, which I'll share in a moment. Often students want to know about book checkout, so you can check out books for 3 weeks before they need to be renewed for more time. We also have a computer lab and printer, which students can access. So just so you know, printing is free for the first 5 pages, and that's per day. Our new hours. So we open at 8:15 right before first period, and we close shortly after the last period of the day at 2:35. We are closed for both lunches during the hybrid schedule. All students who enter the library must properly wear a mask, sanitize their hands, and keep a social distance of 6 feet or more. Our library space, I would like to think of as the heart of the school. So a lot of students come in the mornings to print and get homework done, and often meet with friends before their first class. Our library space is also a place of literacy and knowledge. So we have about 12,000 books in our collection, and I am getting new fiction books in every month. So we really try to promote reading and have new materials for you. And knowledge can also be in book format. So when you come visit the library, you're going to be exploring both our fiction and nonfiction collection. So the nonfiction collection is our factual books, which can be used for school projects. How do you search for a book? So we use the Destiny Library Catalog, which I believe all the schools in El Dorado Hills use. So no matter what middle school you're coming from, hopefully you've used this before. I'm going to jump to the version of it online so I can show you right now. So this is our library website, and you just click here, Access Books. And there's going to be a search bar, which you can use. But if you don't know the title or author of the book you want, because you have no idea what we have and you don't know where to start, I recommend these genre categories. So you can check out all the books we have in adventure, for example, or romance. Let's try science fiction for an example. We have a large science fiction collection because it's an option when you're a senior. I'm going to organize these books by more recently published. So you can see a lot of 2020 books that have recently been ordered. Maybe you recognize this one from the Hunger Games series. So this is a prequel to the series by Susan Collins, and it is in. So that's something you want to look for. So this is on our shelf, and it is in the science fiction section, so SF for science fiction, and by the author's last name, so COL for Collins. There's a brief description of the book and then also the subjects that it's about. So obviously survival is huge in this story. There is a way to log in if you want to put a book on hold. You can do that by entering your school email without, I should say, the beginning part of your school email without the @eduhsd ending. And then your password will be your same Google password. So that is a great feature. When we were doing distance learning, a lot of students were putting books on hold, and I was doing curbside pickup out in the bus circle. So that's just a preview of our library catalog and how to search for a book. Nonfiction books, so the factual books that you would use for research or if you're interested in learning about a real topic, those are organized by a system that's been around for a long time. It's the Dewey Decimal System. So I don't expect you to memorize this, but just know that those books are organized. If you need a book on let's say nutrition, for example, there is a way to easily find that. You just look at the categories here and you can see these numbers. So a book on technology might be $6.49. I would still use the catalog to find out exactly where it is on the shelf. But let's say you're just interested in technology and you don't necessarily need a particular subject. Just know that the numbers do relate to something. We don't just throw the books randomly on the shelves. So our library space, a place for learning and academic growth. You will be coming in with your class. So I think of the library not just as a gathering place for students, not just a place to check out books, but it's also a classroom setting. So it's where I teach my lessons. You'll be learning about the library this week, and then we'll be talking about finding good sources online, and then we'll also talk about databases. So we will be doing that in this area that you see here. Students often come in for tutoring and to get homework done. So we do have a shelf with our textbooks. If you didn't bring it that day, you can visit the library and access what you need. I work with a variety of classes and all different subjects. So even PE will come into the library and use our computers. I work with science classes. We play games in here that are related to science topics. We do a lot with novels in the English department. So you can see that you'll be coming to the library throughout your 4 years for all different classes. The resources available are endless. So besides our book collection, we have a lot of tools to help you. We have a computer lab, a printer, we have the textbooks I mentioned, space, tables, people come in after school and tutor, you can get homework done. Ms. White and I are a resource, and then all our digital tools like databases are resources. We also have Britannica, our online encyclopedia. We have ebooks and even an e-version of the Sacramento Bee. So you're going to hear me talk about databases in the next few weeks. These are the subjects that we have databases for. So databases are a collection of sources, and the sources can range from newspaper articles, magazine articles, images, video clips, primary sources like speeches from a historical figure or any person from the past. Lots of different resources all within these different links. So each link relates to a different subject, and you can access these through our library website. You can also access them from home. So you'll be using these to get research done throughout your 4 years here at Oak Ridge. Our library space. So it is a place in non-pandemic times to gather and create. So these are some activities that I'll most likely bring back when things become more safe. So we do makerspace activities. So these students are working on a holiday craft project. We have games and puzzles that are set out. Chess was really popular last year. So it's fun to see students at lunch, instead of spacing out on their phones, they're playing a fun game with their classmates and their friends and interacting. And then we also bring in unique things. This was a Rubik's Cube challenge that we had. So hopefully you'll get to experience some of these things in the near future. Breakout EDU, it's a curriculum-related game. So Breakout EDU is the company that supplies these black boxes, and I set various locks on each black box, and students use tools like a black light and lots of different clues. You can see students spreading the clues out, and they are trying to solve a variety of puzzles that will get them into the box. So this was an English class, but I have games for all different subjects. So this is something I've only done digitally this school year, but again, we'll bring it back when it's safe. In order for us to do these fun things and play games and meet with friends, we have some rules that I really want you to be aware of when you visit the library. So being productive. This is really important now since we can only allow so many people in. So we are just letting those that need to print or check out books in right now. But it's always important that you use the library in a productive way. So we will ask you to leave if you are behaving in a way that would not be suitable for our environment. You need to clean up after yourself. We have lots of materials for students to use, like glue sticks, markers, etc. Please put those back where you found them. Being respectful of others is key. Students are in here for a variety of reasons, so we need to be aware of others around us. Do not bring food or eat inside the library. So this is really key for a variety of reasons, which I'm assuming you can figure out, but let me just clarify. We have a computer lab. We have thousands of books. We have, carpet. We have furniture. We have so many things that we need to take care of, and food causes lots of problems. We don't allow food. Most libraries don't allow food. So we're going to always ask you to put food away and eat outside, but we're only going to ask you once. We do give referrals for students that fail to follow these rules. So I wanted to make it clear during this video. You need to get a pass from your teacher when you come in during the class periods. We want to know that your teacher sent you to the library, to get work done, and you're not just wandering campus. Lastly, you all have ID cards. It's very important that you have those when checking out textbooks or library books. It makes the checkout process go a lot faster. Some numbers from the last school year that I think are always interesting to look at. So we're a busy place, and you can see here with book circulation, the book is not dead. We checked out 2,700 books last school year. As I mentioned, our library is sort of the heart of the school. We welcomed over 82,000 people through our doors. I worked with a lot of classes, and a lot of classes used our space. So 231 classes came in for book talks, information literacy lessons, research projects, and breakout EDU games. Databases, those academic sources that I mentioned, those were used in large numbers. So we had students search the databases over 27,000 times, or they had over 27,000 searches total. we want you to start using these as your go-to source. And we'll talk more about those in the next few weeks. You can connect with us in a variety of ways, and I will be meeting you all very soon. So thanks for hearing a little bit about our library.